So now we are checking the B1 test, the international test by Pearson, and this is section 4, the first section of the reading test. Could you please, Marcelo, read the example?
Example, recycling center. Please don't put electrical or computer equipment in this area. Contact a member of staff who will be happy to help you.
So please don't put electrical or computer monitors, machines, or equipment. What is the thing with this? That normally all words fit, right? Then you have to take a look at the context. Contact a member of staff. Let me add Christian, who will happy to help you. Computer monitors, computer machines, or equipment. Why equipment is the correct one?
Monitor is not.
Sorry?
Monitor is not the answer.
No, monitors is not.
Okay, electrical or computer machine.
So
No, computer machine is not, therefore is equipment.
very good, because a computer is already a machine,
Right?
So monitors doesn't sound that good, right? So then the other one. Christian, welcome. How are you today?
Hello,
Hi,
I'm fine.
Christian, I'm still waiting for the email from yesterday's test. You remember? Christian.
Yes.
Yeah, try to send it, okay? So now, Christian, 22 for you.
Okay. Please ring 08819265 2.
So what is the correct one? To save to our charity, to donate, or to help? Christian.
To donate.
Perfect, donate. Number 23, Marcelo.
Unfortunately, Sylvester's is closed until 16 August as the owner are away on the holiday. We will be reopening with a new menu as soon as we return. We apologize for any inconvenience.
Inconvenience, very good. No disturbance. So number 24, Christian.
Okay. And the trip to Santiago de Compostela is a beautiful one throughout open countryside. Please help us to look after the
To look after the people, the traffic, or the environment.
Environment.
Very good. Very good. It's very straightforward. Number 25, Marcelo.
Moonwalk is a charity for women which raises money for breast cancer. It was by Nina Brook and involves women power walking marathon. It was founded by Nina Baroque and involves women power walking marathons.
Very good. Founded. Founded is the correct answer. Not sponsor, because sponsor is patrocinado. Could be the case, but founded it's better. Okay, 26. We're going to finish almost this one. Christian.
The Trans-Siberian Railway is a network of railway connecting public.
Connecting is a correct one. Okay. Then you have a reading, right? And then you have to answer this. We won't do that because you can do it yourself and you can read. And the same is as in the listening. You also have some readings, and then you have to answer the questions from the reading, right? And it's exactly the same. Until section 8 and 9, that is about writing. So today we're going to take a look at the writing. Yeah, we have plenty of time for the writing. So you have two sections in writing. One section is related to section 8, and the other section, you have two choices, right? And you have several pieces of information that you can write. So I will start now. We are going to do that. Today we're going to have some time to, oh my God, to read, but let's take a look. We have some pieces of information. And let me share with you this. So this is how you can also have to answer emails. And here we have the model answer. So could you please, Marcelo, read this model answer, this part?
Okay, model answer. You read a posting on a website arguing that pet dogs are nuisance and danger to the public. The website asks readers to contribute their opinion. What are your contribution in about 78, 90 words?
Very good. When you don't know a word in these international exams, I don't know if you know the meaning of this word, but you can also infer the meaning from the context. So Marcelo, what do you think is this word?
Similar danger?
Exactly, because there's a nuisance and danger, and the real meaning is molestia, fastidio, right? But if you don't know, you already know that this is an adjective, and you know that it's negative. So you don't have to know all the words, and then you're going to say, so you are going to argue, right? So the posting on the WhatsApp, we're arguing that pet dogs are a nuisance and danger to the public. And you have to write, and the website asks readers to contribute their opinion. So you are going to write your opinion. Normally you have to disagree, right? Normally you have to disagree. So how you start? Could you please, Christian, read the very first part? This. Christian.
Okay, I disagree with Paul Drake's bad opinion of dogs. Of course, dogs can be annoying or dangerous if their owners don't control them.
Very good. So at the very first part, you have to say if you agree or disagree. Normally, you will always disagree. Normally, because that's what you are expected to do. Then you can add information. So you have to say what you do. You disagree with his opinions of dogs, period. And then you also have to say something like, you don't have to say that the person is totally wrong, right? Please, Marcelo, could you read this?
When arguing a point, it is an effective strategy to concede, partially accept, a point from the opposite argument before making your own opinion, own point. Useful word phrases for introducing this kind of concession include obviously and as here, of course.
Very good. So you disagree, but then you won't say that the other person is totally wrong. So you accept somehow that, of course, dogs can be annoying if their owners don't control them. So you say you agree or disagree, period. You give a point to the article, of course. This could be also the case, right? And then you have to talk about your point. Christian, could you read this?
After conceding a point, state your own argument, linking it to the previous statement with words like thought or however. And if it's a new sentence, or but if it's in the same sentence.
Very good. My suggestion, start a new sentence. Marcelo, could you read the next paragraph, the next sentence here?
Okay. However, we can easily solve this problem through proper training of dogs and their owners.
You have to be very specific. Remember, you don't have to be abstract on this, and you use an active language. Subject, verb. Subject, dogs, can be annoying, modal verb, right? Then annoying, blah, blah, blah. However, it's a linking word, of course, and however. And then again, subject. In this case, this is a modal verb, an adverb, and the verb. You give your point directly like this, okay? So you say if you agree or you disagree, you concede a point, and then you state, after conceding a point, you state your argument, right? We can solve these problems through what? You have to say how. Proper training of dogs and their owners. So then we go with the next part. Please, Christian, could you read this? I don't know if it's big enough. I hope so. Please, Christian. This part.
Okay. In this kind of correspondence, and there is no need to introduce your opinion with phrases like in my opinion or from my point of view. It is understood that the whole point of what you are writing is to give your opinion. So using phrases like this is simply a way of word.
This is for this exam. Many times you can say, in my point of view, but of course, you are saying your point of view. So if you are requested to write your point of view, you cannot keep on writing, this is my point of view, or my view, blah, blah. So the main point. So now please, Marcelo, from here, let me scroll down a little bit. From here to here.
Okay. The main point is dogs bring great benefits. Dogs improve the health of their owner because they provide natural opportunities for exercise.
Very good. So when you express here your opinion, then you have to say why you think that. Why you don't think dogs are dangerous or a nuisance, right? The main point is, right? You can say the main point is, and then you say subject again, verb. You use dogs in plural because you're talking about dogs, bring great benefits. Period. You see, you don't use a lot of commas, you don't use long sentences, you don't use the passive voice that much, right? We use the passive voice when we talk about processes in a company. But in writing, you don't use the passive voice that much. Subject again, verb. And you write in which tense? Simple present, simple past, present with the verb be. What is the tense? Marcelo or Christian?
Simple present?
Exactly. So then you have it clear. You use the simple present when you talk about facts, also about your opinion. And from time to time, you can use the present perfect when you talk about situations that happened in the past and continue still the present. But you won't write using any continuous form, right? Present continuous, past continuous. To talk about your opinion, you will never use it because it's your opinion. So it's very, it goes to the point. Dogs improve the health of the owners. Why? Because they, and take a look at the way. So you have the linking word because, subject, verb. They provide natural opportunities for exercise. Then you have to say another opinion. You have to state another opinion. Could you please, Christian, read the other opinion? Dogs. Christian?
Dogs also guard homes and protect owners. Most importantly, dogs offer their owners a friend and companion for life.
Companion for life. Very good. So you say dogs and you use the verb improve the health. Dogs guard homes. Most importantly, they offer their owners a friend and companion for life. Right? And the last part, please. Marcelo, could you read this part?
This is called a rhetorical question. It is asked to make a point rather that find out information, so it doesn't expect an answer. Questions like these are typical in spoken arguments, and they can also be used in writing contexts like this because the style here is quite informal.
Very good. So a rhetorical question is not a question. You can use it to open a discussion, or you can use it to give a conclusion. Christian, could you please read the rhetorical question?
Okay. It is a wonder. Okay. It is any wonder then that dog owners are happier and live longer than other people?
Very good. And it's not a question, it's just pure, it's a rhetorical question. So it's any wonder then that dog owners are happier and live longer than other people? But it's not a question, it's just to state your point, right? So now, wait a second. Now you have to write. Take 12 minutes to do that. I think you won't take too long. And you have to choose any of these two to practice now. Marcelo, can you read number one?
Number one, you read a news story about the government giving money to support a local sport club. Write an email to the newspaper website giving your opinion on whether or not this is a good use of public money. Write about 70 or 90 words.
Very good. So you're expected to say like they donate to local sports club. So you're expected to say that there are other ways, right? Not to agree with this, even though it's like open, but to disagree, maybe healthcare, maybe education is a priority, right? That's what you have to say, your opinion on this. Christian, read, oh my God, read the second one.
The second, you read an article on a website saying that reading a book is always better than watching a film of the same story. The website asks readers if they agree with this opinion and to give reasons why or why not. Write your contribution in about 70 or 90 words.
Right. So in this case, you can say like you agree or disagree with this, right? And when you agree or disagree, you have to provide the reasons. So Marcelo, which one is easier for you? Which one you like more?
I like the second because I like the books, but I select the number one.
Okay, and Christian, which one would you like to write about? Christian?
I number
Number one or number two? You can choose any of them, right? It's same thing. So before you write, I have to save this and send it to you. Let's check the essay, right? We also have an essay, and let's check the model answer for the essay. you can also be asked to write an essay in answer to a question, right? So for example, what are the advantages and disadvantages of learning English in your own country? Remember, this article asks you to agree or disagree and provide reasons. And this one is an essay, right? So when you write an essay or when you write this, you have to do something at the very beginning. And you have to write the draft. And the draft are the main ideas you use before writing, right? So for the question, advantage and disadvantages of learning English in your own country. So you have to start talking, you have to start thinking about advantages and disadvantages of learning English. So Marcelo, tell me advantages of learning English in your own country. Remember that for the draft, you don't have to write perfectly. It's just ideas.
Yeah. The advantage of learning English in my own country is the comfort to be at home.
Uh-huh. Comfort to be at home. Any other, Christian? Any other advantage? Must be at least two reasons, right? Other reason that could be an advantage of learning English in your own country? Any other? Also, Marcelo, you can tell me any other reason?
I think it is cheaper as to be in a foreign country.
Cheaper than traveling, right?
Huh.
Good. Disadvantages. So also choose two, right? If you choose two advantages, you have to choose two disadvantages. What are disadvantages? Christian, you can also tell me any disadvantages. Go ahead. Christian? Or Marcelo, any disadvantages? Try to tell me two disadvantages.
The opposite of cheaper, that is expensive.
Disadvantages of learning. No, but disadvantages of.
Disadvantage of learning. We have a mother tongue language thing we can not practice all time.
Okay. Limited practice time. Right? You have to try to be very specific. Limited practice time. Any other, Christian, disadvantages? I think maybe your communication isn't that good now, Christian, I guess. Any other disadvantages, Marcelo?
Disadvantage in our country.
For this part, you have to try to think quickly because you have limited.
Yes.
I
don't know.
Then you have little contact with native speakers.
Okay.
Right? So then you have it's comfortable, it's cheaper, is limited practice time, little contact with native speakers. Take a look that this one and this one are like kind of linked, right? Are kind of similar. So once you have this, you have to convert this into paragraphs. We are going to take a look at the example, right? We're going to take a look at the example, and then you will have some time to write today. Since today is your last day, Marcelo, we're going to take some time for writing. So
okay.
you can also let me stop it, close it, and come back to the, oh my God, to this. I think. Okay, so now we are going to see it. Christian, can you read please the first part? Sorry, Christian, I can't hear you. Not a word. Marcelo, please, could you read the first part?
It is cheaper to learn English in your own country because you can live at home and continue to study at the school or go to work.
So take a look. You provide some reasons, right? And you go directly saying it's cheaper to learn English in your country, and then you provide the reasons because subject and verb. You live in your own country, you can continue studying, you can go to work. So, and could you please, Christian, now read this? Oh my God, the connection was not good. Marcelo.
Okay. Back up your idea with additional points, using simple and effective linking words or phrases rather than more formal ones like moreover.
So you have to use linking word or phrases, right? Like another advantage, and you read this part, another advantage is that you won't miss your family or friends. Then you go, period. Also, you will be in your normal surroundings, so you will be relaxed and comfortable. Take a look at the structure of this. You have one paragraph and you go to the point, but you have to write many reasons. So when you write the draft, you need to have many reasons in mind. Here, there are many already. The structure is the same. Short sentences, active language, subject, verb. The tense is the simple present, but what is the other tense they use here? Is the present tense, and also what is the other tense they use? In the example.
Future, you will be.
You will be, right? Since this is it's not your opinion on something someone wrote, this is an idea, right? Advantages or disadvantages of doing something. So then you can use the future. Normally, the future with will. That the future with will, we use it to predict something. And going to is more specific. So you will be in your normal surroundings, so you will be relaxed and comfortable. Could you please, Christian, read this part, please? Sorry, Christian, this I cannot hear you. Marcelo, please.
This phrase introduces the contrast with the first paragraph. It is essentially useful when discussing advantages and disadvantages. It isn't necessary to have use on the one hand for the previous point.
So on this, there is a debate on how to write. It says if you write on the one hand, then you have to write on the other hand. I have heard people saying that this is a rule, but in this case, they say no, you can say on the other hand to say another point of view, right? Could you please, Christian, read this part, this paragraph? Still not possible to hear you. So go ahead, Marcelo, please.
Okay. On the other hand, if you study English in American over time, you will also learn about the culture in addition to the language. You will use English in everyday situation and have daily contact with native speakers with different accents. Whereas at home, you might not have many chances to practice your English outside the classroom.
Very good. So you start talking about advantages, you don't mix. It's a block, a paragraph of advantages, many. And then when you are going to shift you're going to talk about these advantages, then you introduce on the other hand, and you also use the linking word whereas, which is like mientras, right? And you go with if. You use if, I think they have used sometimes, if you study English in this and this, comma, so this is if with the future. and you have to use the present in the if clause and the future with will in the other sentence, right? The if clause, and also we have then the consequence. And you use short sentences. So when you use an if clause, you have to be careful with what kind of conditional sentence you're writing. Usually, you use present and future, usually. Then you start again with the subject, verb, blah, blah, and then this change a little bit because you start the sentence with at home. You can do it also with time or place. You can start a sentence with the time and place, but then you again use the subject, and here they use a modal verb. Because why you use a modal verb? Because you are not sure that this is going to happen, but you may not have chances to practice your English outside the classroom. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, so Christian, I hope now it works. Could you read this part, please?
Now can you hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Write a concluding paragraph that summarizes the question and expresses your own opinion.
Very good. Could you read, please, Christian, the last part?
Nowadays, with the internet, you can communicate in English more easily from your own country. On balance, I think it's better to study English in your own country.
So very important, the structure of the sentences we know already, but then the flow of the information. You state what you want to say, right? So you start with advantages. Then you continue with disadvantages. And then you say what is better for you. So imagine that you think that it's better to study English abroad. Then you have to start with advantages of studying English abroad, not studying in your country, because it's what is the strongest point, right? This person in their conclusion said that the person thinks it's better to study from your own country. Therefore, the person starts saying the advantages of studying from your own country, right? So advantages, disadvantages, your own opinion, right? So now you have some time. I hope you do it in 10 minutes. You're going to use this one, and you are going to choose one of these two. So let me stop the recording so I can send